Wow, Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission is a toothless tiger leh. Ayya, mana boleh.
This is a Singlish channel. Hey, hello friend. Can you kindly press the subscribe button and also the like button? Thank you very much. And happy watching.
Okay. Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Chief Commissioner Azam Baki says over 500 reports have not been acted upon by department heads for years. Years. Wow. Politicians and bureaucrats taming the toothless tiger leh. There are over 500 misconduct reports that has been submitted by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission to various government departments that have yet to be acted upon. Some of these misconduct reports were in fact dated up to 12 years ago. 12 years ago. Okay, more in the NST Insight latest video report with Tan Sri Azam Baki to be followed. Okay.
In recent months, we have seen multiple major graft busts conducted by Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) in efforts to support the government's fight against corruption. From petty traders to ringleaders of organised syndicates, even those who were formerly in power, it seems like no one can escape MACC's bid in conducting its due diligence. My name is Amalina Kamal and I'm standing here in front of MACC HQ in Putrajaya, where I'll be joining by its Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki in a discussion to find out the statistics and latest trends based on recent operations. So don't go anywhere, this is NST Insight.
In August of 2022, a document alleged to be MACC's investigation paper on Justice Datuk Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali, the judge who presided over former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak's SRC international corruption case, was purportedly leaked. Nazlan had convicted and sentenced Najib to 12 years in jail and a 210 million ringgit fine for misappropriating 42 million ringgit of SRC international funds. In a sit-down interview with Straits Times, MACC's Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki said those who kept pointing fingers at the Commission about the matter should stop doing so.
As far as I'm concerned, the leak doesn't come. I check, never come from MACC. On that very day, I ensure when the report submitted to CJ, it has been fully. The envelope has been fully concealed and submitted to CJ PA by hand. I personally wanted to make sure whether the report had been submitted to her office. I don't want any leak. So how the leak came up, I do not know. I don't want to get. For me, I don't want to make it big anymore.
The documents appear to suggest that MACC had concluded its investigation into Nazlan and submitted its report to the Attorney General Chambers. The Federal Court on February 24 meanwhile ruled that the MACC's investigation against Nazlan was done without following protocols.
Tan Sri, the entire SRC case was based on the MACC investigation.
Correct.
That there is this defrauding of 42 million that has taken place and things like that. But now, the whole narrative is being turned as though
you're against it.
The MACC is
That's what
against
talking about professionality here. You know, we have to be fair to everybody lah. We are professional. So I cannot say that, for this one I classify, I don't want to investigate. This one I can investigate. How do you feel if that happened to your family? To be frank, to disclose about the report. So the complainant, they are so good now, people are so good. They are very good now in disclosing. Before come to MACC office outside there, The flash. This is what we want to report to MACC. What can I do? This is a free country, what? Before coming to MACC also they can do through social media apa semua.
Adding fuel to the fire, members of Bersatu's youth wing Armada, coincidentally after our sit-down with Azam, lodged a police report accusing Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Legal and Institutional Reform, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, as well as the MACC of leaking the investigation letter. Armada Assistant Secretary Muhammad Faiz Rahmat said Azalina and MACC had no right to investigate whether a judge had breached the Judges' Code of Ethics 2009.
Do this, I cannot do my work.
The latest MACC swoop on corrupt practices involving the recruitment of foreign workers, which has implicated the Human Resources Ministry, has sent shockwaves through the country. But graftbusters have warned that it is just the start of more to come. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki said the Commission was working on more corruption cases involving high-profile names and everything would be exposed soon. He also credited past accomplishments in fighting graft cases to the support received from Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. This made it all much easier for the Commission, who had the full backing of the top political leader in the country.
There will be some high-profile cases.
So we can expect a few explosive high-profile cases before
For this coming 1 or 2 months from now lah. Nanti dulu. I don't want to give any hope.
These cases dia melibatkan penyelewengan duit rakyat.
You see, when there's a drive from the Prime Minister, when there's a political will, I tell you, it's my easiest job to do lah. I make my life easy lah.
Very true.
I don't have headache. I can sleep at night. I cannot sleep if people start interfering into my job. That's I'm telling you.
You don't have to fight
start
the
calling me, why investigate, and then I sakit kepala lah. I've been gone through all this for many years already. It's okay lah. I'm not grumbling on that lah. Tapi
But it's not happening now.
it's not happening now.
Azam, however, stressed that the MACC is an independent body that does not report to anyone, including the Prime Minister. He also expressed confidence that the public will go all out in supporting MACC in the fight against graft, especially when it involved those entrusted with public funds and carrying out government policies.
Yeah, I heard that many support MACC. No doubt also, despite of some quarters they against us. So my duty is to decide. We will classify, we will decide, and then we will execute. Okay? I'm not going to refer or make any referendum asking for anybody to sign in the FB whether we should proceed or not to proceed. Bad thing will happen if you do that.
The MACC has been hitting the headlines of late following its investigation into several high-profile cases involving top politicians, including former Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and other top figures from his party implicated in the Jana Wibawa scandal. Last month, Muhyiddin, who is the Perikatan National Chairman, was charged with money laundering, abuse of power, and corruption involving 232.5 million ringgit in bribes from corporate entities linked to the Jana Wibawa program. Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki has taken the Malaysian Bar to task over its criticism of the Commission's probe into Court of Appeal Judge Datuk Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali. He urged the bar and its former presidents to stop its double standards when commenting on those being investigated by graftbusters. Azam noted that back then it was the bar which had pushed for the commission, then known as the Anti-Corruption Agency ACA, to investigate judges.
During my era time, BPR time, I still remember fresh in my mind, they are the one who pushed to the limit MACC BPR at the time to investigate judges. BPR at the time, we don't have this power though. And yet, there's one case, I don't want to mention the judge's name. We've been called by judiciary to investigate this judge. But first, our investigation will begin on corruption matters. If we discover some other element of misconduct, our duty is to report to the HOD, head of department. And then we just suggest it's up to the head of department whether they wanted to take any action. Doesn't say that our suggestion is something that is final. And we have done that, I think, more than 100,000 cases, I think so, haven't seen our establishment.
He also said the investigation against Court of Appeal Judge Datuk Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali was launched after they received 8 reports from the public. The federal court on February 24 ruled that the MACC's investigation against Nazlan was done without following protocols. Chief Justice Tun Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat, who led a 7-member panel, said the investigation against Nazlan must be conducted in accordance with certain protocols to protect judicial independence.
I don't look at the person whether that he's a judge for that current case or not. Because for this case, 8 reports been lodged to MACC and we never made any public statement. The people who came here, they made a public statement. Not me. I wanted to address that. Betul kan benda ni? These people, when they lodge police report, MACC report, I think they also lodge police report. So they make it public, not me. I know my limitation. I bukan suka pergi cerita kat orang, oh I'm now investigating a judge. The only thing that I mention is, yes, we received a report. And now I look into it, I will investigate. That's all.
The Malaysian Bar and its former presidents recently called out MACC for acting outside its scope of investigatory powers when investigating an alleged conflict of interest in a court matter and breaches of judicial ethics. Its current president, Karen Chia, said the proper body to investigate and decide on the ethical conduct of judges lies with the Judicial Ethics Committee established under the Judges Ethics Committee Act 2010 and that MACC has no role to play in this exercise.
Federal Court had decided that MACC had the power to investigate. Talking about whether the MACC has the power to investigate the judges. Okay. I want to stress you out. Tell these people, whoever they are, bar counsel ke siapa, don't play double standard here.
Aside from the fact that the investigation was launched after the Commission received 8 reports from the public, Azam also stressed that the investigation into civil servant misconduct is nothing unusual.
So if I don't investigate, what should I do? You tell me what to do now. I put into the dustbin or what? Or what should I do? Keep quiet? 20 years ago, the norms, what happening now is not as before. You are the people, for the media people also pushing MACC, tell something lah. You also wanted to know. It's not about you. The public wanted to know.
Baki, he shared with the new Straits Times that there are over 500 misconduct reports.
Under the Constitution, whatever report on misconduct submitted by MACC to any head of department is their right to decide, not us. Our duty finished.
In this latest episode of NSC Insight with MACC's own Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki, he shared with the new Straits Times that there are over 500 misconduct reports that have been submitted by the Commission to various government departments that have yet to be acted upon. Some of these misconduct reports go back up to 12 years ago.
Under the government rules, what they need to do is just to form a committee. And this committee comprising of members selected by the head of the department, and they will look into it. They have all the facts given before them now already. Even they can call MACC if they want to get more facts.
Azam said they had submitted over 100,000 reports to HODs in various government departments ever since they were established in 1967.
There are many cases, I said. There are many, I don't have the statistic, but there are many cases where the HOD reported back to us by saying that first, normally they will say that, okay, we have received the report and we will look into it first. That is the first process. Second process, they will say that, okay, we have established a committee, for example, and then the committee had decided what? There's no base or there's no merit on that. So I cannot interfere because that is under the Constitution. Okay, the Constitution says that it's a powers given to the committee who will decide whether there is a base on the misconduct or not. If there is no bis or no merit, they just close on it, because this is not a criminal case. You must understand that. Criminal case will go before a court, will be tried before court. But on misconduct, it will go before a committee that they will establish after receiving the report. There was a KSN and also SPA circular on that. So every ketua jabatan should have understand that. It's their duty bound to follow that circular, not guideline. It is a circular. Banyak ketua jabatan, they just ignore. We send letters to them reminding them they have to take action, because it is a KSN circular, not my circular. It's a JPA circular, not my circular. I never create any circular. We just follow orders. I think everything is all intact, what? In terms of governing the civil service in this country, we have many circulars already. I wanted to share with you, as an old man in MACC, I'm the oldest in MACC for now. Okay? Nobody else, even Jaga also, all of them already retired. The corruption in this country is coming to the systemic, in certain areas, especially on enforcement and also procurement issues. I don't want to make it big, but that is my feeling, because I can share with you, for the past 10 years, those days, 10 years ago, I think the limit that we arrest people, not many from 54, grade 54. Yeah, I'm talking about public sector. Now, there are too many 54, Jusa C and Jusa B also.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Hey, we come to the end already there. Have you pressed the button yet? Subscribe lah. Okay, thank you. Subscribe. And also press the button like. Yeah, very good. Thank you. And then have a nice day.